A few weeks ago, we did a market update on Destined Rivals. The booster boxes had just shot up crazy in price, and then we actually got a restock of booster boxes on the Pokemon Center, and that's kind of brought the prices down on at least on the boxes pretty big for now. But in this video, we're going to talk about how Destined Rivals is actually looking pretty good. It might be getting ready for another run. Things are kind of interesting. I'm going to break down everything in this video as far as why I think that. And also make sure you watch all the way to the end because we're going to talk about a few bonus cards which are actually taking off right now as well. So let's just jump straight into it. We are going to talk about a few of the chase cards before we get to the booster boxes. So right now, this is the Team Rocket's Mewtwo, number 231. SIR. This card is looking really great, especially as far as TCG player goes. A few things worth noting. One is the supply. Supply and demand is always playing a factor here. There's only 37 copies, right? Currently listed on TCG Player. The market price is at $583, just under $600. Lowest listeds, there are a few lower listeds. However, these aren't really the best. Some of these aren't the best sellers. A lot of them have either like 0% feedback or only 4 sales. So right here, if you want to go to like the first better seller right here, 582 right there at the current market. So I think that those lower listings probably will get ignored. But like I said, there's only 37 copies. In the past month right here, we've seen 54 copies sell in the past month, albeit it has slowed down a little bit. But if this trend continues, once again, the supply is going to dry up, and we could potentially see this card move up into the $600+ range. If we look at page 2, just for fun as a hypothetical, it does go a few in the 600s, and then we go all the way to 670s and 700s. I'm not saying like guaranteed that that's going to happen or anything, but currently as the listing's set up, that's where it would kind of land. So the chase card from the set is looking good, low supply. The card has just increased over time. Cynthia's Garchomp. This is the SIR number 232 is looking really good. We talked about this when it was happening, but somebody was trying to tank the price on this card. You can see this weird dip right here with a ton of sales, really low. It looks like we've survived that pretty well. The card has dropped a little. You can see, it was at 320, now it's at 280. So, a little bit of a fluctuation did bring the price down a little bit, but this card is still looking good, and it's in a similar category as the Mewtwo, right? 34 copies. So lower supply on this card. In the past month, 63 copies have sold. So if this trend continues, we're going to see this card continue to run up. And if we jump onto page 2 right here, let's just see kind of where that would put us. Closer to $400, upper $300 range, potentially. So the chase cards right now looking pretty good. One of my favorites, Ethan's Ho-Oh. I got to mention it, right? I got to represent for the Pokemon Gold kids, right? Everyone, there were so many silver kids. They love Lugia. Not that I don't like Lugia, but Gold kids represent. Ethan's Ho-Oh right here, number 230. This card's up 67% in the past 3 months from $143 to $240. So it's gained $100 just in the past few months. It had a similar thing. Somebody was trying to tank the price. It didn't work. Right, 237 down to 211. So current market price on this one at 240. There's definitely more copies of this one available, right? 60 copies. So it's not looking quite as good as the top 2 cards. Similar thing with Team Rocket's Nidoking. This is SIR 233. It's up 25% in the past 3 months. Seeing a little bit of a dip right now. It peaked at 140. It's down to like 133. So nothing too crazy there. A few more cards to get through before we get to the boxes. Next up is Ethan's Adventure. This is a really nice for a trainer card. This is SIR number 236. I finally picked this one up from my master set recently at my LGS. But this one's not up as much, but 17%, and it's seeing a little bit of a dip. It's only dipped $2, right? 62 down to 60, although market price at 58. So it might be coming down a little bit more. You can see lowest listed's kind of down into the mid 50s. So it might be coming down in between these two, in between this low and this high that we've seen in the past 3 months. So that's Ethan's Adventure. Underrated trainer card, honestly. Pichu and Cyndaquil, say less. Now we're going to get into a few of the sealed products. Right now we're looking at, this is the regular Elite Trainer box. I just wanted to bring this up because, ETBs are always very popular. And this is up 31% in the past 3 months. It cracked that $100 mark and then kind of blew past that. Honestly, we're approaching $120 for a regular Elite Trainer box. I know this set, it really isn't very old, right? It's only been out a few months, but it's proven to be very popular. And the listed median price on a regular ETB is $130. So we're going to continue to see this move up. Look how many are listed right now on TCG Player. Just 240 boxes in the past month. 320 have sold. So once again, this is kind of one of those things. If this continues, the supply is going to dry up, and we'll see the ETBs continue to move up. Now let's talk about the booster boxes. So the booster boxes, when we saw now these have gone through the ringer, right? Keep in mind there was a buyout on these boxes, and that's what shot the price up to right here. We did see some sales as high as $700 during this period. You can see down there it says between 380 and 725, but it was around 500 ish, 467, right? So we saw the big shoot up. You know, it was moving pretty good, right? It went from 300 all the way up to 350, and then that big one, right? That's what shot it up big. Then it fell off. And you know, mostly because that was an explosive price, right? It was a buyout, it shot the prices up, and we've fallen off all the way down to the 380s. But something also very interesting happening with the booster boxes right now. It has recovered a little, right? It went down to 371, and then it's come back up, and it's continuing to climb, right? It's about to hit 390 again. So getting close to that $400 range. The listed median price is 500, and that has proven in this market, even though things have slowed down, you know, maybe within the past few weeks, past month, this has proven to be a solid indicator of where sealed product is going. It just can depend on the time frame. So, you know, $500 a box is the trajectory in which we're currently headed. And if we play the supply and demand game, there's only 297 boxes currently on TCG Player, with about 500 selling in the past month. And, you know, a lot of people, you can see a lot of purchases right here on October 11th as the prices dropped, right? They fell off pretty high from 500, you know, so people were taking these as good buying points. So right now the booster box starting to get low supply. Even though we got those, you know, that restock on the Pokemon Center, I don't really know exactly how big that was. It didn't last too long on the Pokemon Center, and you know, obviously they were limiting product there. So the booster box, you know, is looking pretty good. So we may see, what we may end up seeing is a slingshot back up. You know, it shot up, it came back down, and I think we're probably going to see this continue to move up. It might just be a little bit slower. I think things are going to slow down a little bit into the holiday season. Obviously, people have gifts, there's traveling, there's a lot of stuff going on moving into the holidays. So, you know, spending goes down at this time as well. And there's tons of other things happening. But, you know, that being probably one of the main factors. But I still think, just based off of this, it's looking like Destined Rivals might see another bounce up in price. So just keep that in mind. That's what I'm currently seeing as far as booster boxes go. And on top of that, the singles look good. The chase cards look good. So yeah, let me know if you guys agree and or disagree in the comments. Before we go any further, real quick, if you guys want to have a chance to win some Phantasmal Flames booster boxes, ETBs, tons of other stuff, go back and watch my video from yesterday. It's right here. It says it's a huge Phantasmal Flames giveaway, free Pokemon cards. Go check that out. It tells you everything you need to know. There'll also be a link in the description, and I'll try and put it at the end cards at the end of the video. But it's yesterday's video, so go check that out if you want to have a chance to win some free Pokemon cards. And then the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes are still looking pretty good, even though they've come down. You know, in the past month, a little bit of fluctuation, although mostly flat, right? It went from 350 up to 380, now back down to 355. Listed median, 469. It's another one that's going to continue to trend up with low supply, 92 boxes with 51 sold in the past month. So I think this box is going to continue to move up. The Wobbuffet promo has moved up. This is the Pokemon Center stamped version, has moved up. We're going to talk about PSA 10 pricing on this card in a second. But let me know, put a guess if you haven't checked. Put a guess down in the comments. How much do you think this card's been selling for? If it's 154 raw, how many, what do you think this sells for in a PSA 10 currently? Keep in mind, there's a decent amount graded, but not a ton. So throw your guesses in and we'll take a look at that in a second. But, you know, these shot up, they went from, man, they really, $68 3 months ago, up to $150, almost $160. And they've come down just a tiny bit, a few dollars. Lowest listeds right now, though, might be maybe a little bit of a buying opportunity on this card. There's quite a few in the 120s and 130s. So it looks like this card may be taking a little bit of a dip, possibly. Let's see how many have sold in the past month. Yeah, so sales have definitely slowed down. Only 16 selling in the past month. So not as liquid of a card currently. But on the PSA 10 side, we are seeing some pretty crazy numbers. Here's one that went on bids, sold through PSA, $1,500. Before that, or after that rather, 1,500, and then before that 1,700, 1,650. So yeah, this has been all over the place. Between 15 and 1,700 on the last sales. Now, population wise, there's only 189 copies currently available, right? And you can see has a total pop of 904. So not that many cards really have been graded. I think this is also one of those cases of we are seeing less and less of these Pokemon Center ATBs open than ever before, hence less copies out there and less graded, right? So the Wobbuffet promo, getting some big bucks. Honestly, $1,500 is big for a low pop card. And then let's talk about a few bonus cards. Now, these obviously are not Destined Rivals, but it is kind of related. Mewtwo, Giovanni, you got the armor, right? So I want to talk about both the English and the Japanese armored Mewtwo, as they are continuing to trend up. 89% in the past 3 months. The Japanese side being much more affordable than the English right now. $30 3 months ago, and now we're seeing $55 with the most recent sale actually in the 80s and 90s, with lowest listeds right now pretty much matching that. So this card continuing to shoot up 89%, but it's not done. It's still shooting up. That's going to show a very big percentage gain once this chart updates. And also just keep in mind 640% on the year. A year ago, this was not even a year ago, an $8 card. PSA 10s, here's the last solds. October 24th and October 24th. Both of these went for bids, 400 and 400. Before that, you do have a 529 sale. But just for reference, too, see what a few months can do. April 26th, this card sold for 188 in a 10. Now we're seeing 400. So definitely some very big gains on the armored Mewtwo. Population actually pretty low. I thought it was going to be a little bit higher. Japanese print quality is usually really good, but not the case with this card. You can see right here, 3,000 right here in a PSA 10 and 9,600 total graded. So that one has not exactly panned out as far as grading goes for the Japanese. So that one's kind of different. That's not usually what we see. On the English side, here's the English promo. We got the yellow border going on. It's up 50% in the past 3 months, from 146 up to 220. Another one that's getting low supply, right? 19 copies available. Lowest listed's about to take another jump. Lowest listed is 270 and up. So we could see this card in the future potentially move up into that $300 range. Definitely possible. 102% growth on the year. A year ago, 1 year low of $110. So 110 up to 270 now realistically, and possibly approaching 300. Now, this is where it does start to get a little wild on this card. Check out the last solds. You have one at 6,000. This one, may actually have been sold a little less, but we do have this one that ran on bids right before that. 4,500 and 4,800 both on bids. Armored Mewtwo, taking up some big numbers in a PSA 10. And this is why. Check out the pop report on this card. There's only 292 copies of this card that exist in a PSA 10 with 4,765 total graded. That is an extremely tough gem rate right there. So that is where that is coming from, that insane price. And honestly, that's one where, I don't know, we might continue to see this climb. We did see a sale, 5,500. I mean, it really depends. Some of these buy it nows can be lower. It just really depends. But yeah, between $4,000 and $6,000 sales. So I say about 5 has been the average. Crazy low pop number on that for both the Japanese and the English, which usually, it's not going to be both of them. Usually the Japanese ends up, doing really well. So those are your bonus cards I wanted to talk about. Let's jump back to Destined Rivals for a second. I want to mention a few things. Now, we're looking at, this is Pokedata, and I like pulling up Pokedata from time to time, mostly for set values. It's great because you can just pull up the set and click on it, and you're going to see the total value of the set. Prices are pretty accurate. Some, maybe a little off, so give or take there, but it gives us a good perspective of where Destined Rivals is at overall. So obviously you have, one very expensive chase card, and then you got, quite a few other cards that are in, you got two in the $200 range, and you got quite a few above 100, right? One, two, three above 100. And then, it starts to dwindle down pretty quick from there. But still some good value down here. So $2,400 is the current set value for Destined Rivals. Now, when you start to do some comparison, I know this is a new set. Some of these cards are going to continue to drop into the future, but right now the set's looking really good. It's looking really strong. It's going to depend on reprints and everything, right? Let's compare it to Paldea Evolved. This is a comparison we've made before, but just for reference, $1,400 to $2,400. So Destined Rivals has $1,000 more value in it currently overall as a set. And I do like Paldea Evolved. I love the Magikarp. Big Gyarados fan, right? So I am on board with Paldea, but Destined Rivals looks really good. What about Destined Rivals compared to Silver Tempest? It's definitely a great set from Sword and Shield. It's got a lot of hype. It's been gaining a lot of value recently, but still, Silver Tempest, $1,200 value. So Destined Rivals blowing that out of the water. Lost Origin, probably my favorite Sword and Shield set. Only 1,400. Closer to 15 if you round it up here. We'll call it 1,500. Just it's right there. So $900 more value. Pretty much 1,000 for Destined Rivals over Lost Origin, which is shaping up to be these Pikachus have gone up in value. The Aerodactyl's finally starting to get up there, and obviously it has Gengar, it has Pikachu, it has Snorlax, it has Charizard. Anyways, great set. Only $1,400 in value. Very expensive box right now too. Fusion Strike, the second one after Evolving Skies. It's been insane, right? We're like talking $1,000 boxes, and look at the cards in the set. Obviously the Mews have been going up recently, increasing the value a lot. I still think Celebi has a little bit of a ways to go. I think this should be more expensive, but your Gengar, your Espeon, we're still above. We're not even at $2,000 value here. So Destined Rivals outperforming Fusion Strike as far as set value goes. Now, there's a ways to go, so right, a lot can happen. But Crown Zenith, want to compare it to Crown Zenith? Another great set. I really love Crown Zenith. $1,700, so we're $700 above for Destined Rivals. Now, if you want to get crazy, obviously, it's not going to touch Evolving Skies. Okay, $7,102 set value. You could pretty much have the entire. You can have a master set of Destined Rivals for just barely more than an Umbreon. Isn't that wild? This card alone carries the set so hard. And then you obviously have the Rayquaza doing crazy numbers. Look at all these cards. It's just insane. So, not a fair comparison by any means. But, it's still doing good. It's still obviously not doing better than Prismatic either, because Prismatic is a huge set. Not only does it obviously have another Umbreon, you got all the evolutions, but it's just a huge set, and that definitely plays a factor. Your Destined Rivals is more of your normal set, if you will. It's like black and white. Okay, so here's the other thing too. Black and white sets are very expensive because they have illustration rares for every single card, right? So gosh, this is episode Return of the Fly. I think they're attracted to the lights. They don't bother me, and then I get one in here every once in a while, and they only bother me when I turn the lights on. So anyways, Destined Rivals it's looking good overall, and I do want to emphasize again, I know I said it before, I'm going to say it again, that the set is young, right? Destined Rivals hasn't been out that long. Okay, I know. But right now, with the current state of the market, it's still looking pretty good. So nothing that I'm saying either is a guarantee. It's just, it kind of is looking like, maybe Destined Rivals might be getting ready to go on another little bit of a run. Supply is getting low on a lot of things. The booster boxes, even though they fluctuated, they're looking like they're going to continue to trend up. So that's your market update for the day. Another Destined Rivals up. I like talking about Destined Rivals. I'm sorry. You're going to hear more about Destined Rivals because I like talking about it. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you enter the giveaway. It should be popping up somewhere around here, or there'll be a link in the description. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.